If you've been learning AI for a while and your results don't match your effort, this video is about why. The answer has nothing to do with the tools you're using. Quick note before we get into this. I'm AI Fid, FIDA's digital twin built with AI. The real FIDA is busy directing AI creative work for brands and building GenAI Lab. Every word I deliver is personally written by FIDA. FIDA reads every comment. Drop your thoughts below. Now, let's go. About 2 years ago, I was spending close to £400 a month on AI subscriptions. Not because I had a plan, because I kept hearing the same thing on repeat. This tool is going to change everything. Then 3 months later, the same people would say, actually, that one's done. You need this now. So I'd switch every time. I had a folder on my desktop I started calling the graveyard. Probably 15 different platforms across 9 months. Workflows I'd spent entire weekends building. Never connected to anything real. And every day, 4-5 hours minimum, I was watching content about AI instead of making anything with it. Tutorials on top of tutorials. Notebooks full of notes I never opened again. I spent the better part of a year doing this. Thousands of pounds, thousands of hours, and I had almost nothing to show for it commercially. The thing I kept telling myself was that I just hadn't found the right combination yet. That I was one platform away from it clicking. I wasn't one platform away. I was playing the wrong game entirely. Most AI education sells you a specific idea. It sells you the idea that if you stay current enough, eventually it pays off. Enough tools, enough techniques, enough hours. And that feels true because the tools genuinely are impressive. Every demo has real potential. So you keep watching, keep learning, keep waiting for the gap between what you know and what you earn to close on its own. It doesn't. Knowing a tool is not a skill. Direction is a skill. Knowing what to make, who it's for, and how to turn it into something with commercial value. That's the skill. No amount of tutorials transfers that. The people actually making money from AI right now are not the most technically advanced. Most of them can barely write a prompt from scratch. What they have is taste, a clear direction, and a system that connects what they create to an income. That's the game most people aren't playing, including me, for a long time. Here's the thing nobody says out loud. Right now, someone is learning Weavy. Someone found Flora yesterday and is already 3 hours deep into tutorials. And every one of them is busy. Every one of them feels like they're working. They are working. They're just playing the wrong game. You're always moving, never landing anywhere specific. Here's the test. Can you draw a straight line from what you made last week to money? Not views, not followers, to money. If you can't, you're on the treadmill. I was on it for close to a year, and I was genuinely good at it. I knew more tools than almost anyone I followed. I could produce faster than most people in my feed. But I was producing content, not building leverage. Every time I stopped, everything stopped. Nothing compounded. I had skills that only worked when I was directly using them. They weren't really building anything. They were just effort dressed up as progress. From the inside, it looks exactly like progress. Your output is improving. You're staying current. You feel like you're ahead of the curve. But there's a real difference between getting better at using tools and building something that pays you when you step away. Most AI creators never make that jump. Not because they're not skilled, because they're playing the wrong game. The right game is not more complicated than what you're already doing. It's just different. And almost nobody explains what it actually looks like. Picture this. Someone reaches out to you, a brand, a business, someone who needs serious AI creative work done, and they specifically want you. Not because you can list the most tools, because you've built a system that produces a certain quality of output consistently that they can't get anywhere else. You're not competing on knowing the latest thing. You're not scrambling every time a new model drops. You have a creative direction that's yours, a system that runs, a commercial outcome you can point to. That's what it looks like to be a profitable human. Most people in AI will never get there, not because it requires more skill, because they're chasing the wrong thing. The right game is about building one system that connects creative output to income, and getting so good at directing it that you become the person who's hard to replace. Instead of following whatever's trending, you pick one creative direction, one type of output with real commercial value. You get so good at directing it that you don't need to track every new release, because you're the one deciding what's worth using and what isn't. You run the system. The tools are just the tools. A consumer asks, what's the best AI tool right now? A profitable human asks, what does my system need next? Sounds like a small difference. It's not. Those are completely different games with completely different outcomes. For me, the shift happened when I stopped trying to keep up and just built one workflow. One system that could take an idea all the way to a finished creative asset without reinventing the process every time. Nothing exciting, nothing viral, just repeatable. What changed wasn't the output quality, it was how the skill worked. Every project I run through the system makes me sharper at directing it. Every asset I ship is a reference point for the next one. The skill builds, it compounds, it doesn't reset when a new tool drops. That's leverage, and it has almost nothing to do with knowing the newest thing. Here's something I want you to sit with. The people who've built systems are compounding right now, today. While you're watching this, they're getting sharper. They're shipping more. They're building a body of work that follows them everywhere. And the people still tool hopping, still spending their weekends on Weavy, Flora, the next thing. They're not standing still either. They're falling further behind. 6 months from now, that gap is going to be visible. You'll see it in portfolios, in clients, in confidence. A year from now, it's going to be a lot harder to close. The window for getting into this early, for being the person who built something real before everyone else caught up. That window is real. It's not a scare tactic. It's just how compounding works. The good news, you're watching this. That already puts you in a different conversation. The harder part, knowing there's a right game, is not the same as playing it. Most people who understand exactly what I just described will still open a new tutorial this week. I did. For months after I understood this. In the next video, I'm going to explain exactly why, because it has nothing to do with effort, discipline, or motivation.